skill, see how good you could get. Don't expect it to just come out and be perfect at it, right? You might have some fall, you might have some good stance and stuff, but come out and enjoy yourself.
The rink will be open for use Fridays to Sundays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Skates can be rented at $40 for sizes 6 and under and $50 for sizes 7 and over for a duration of 2 hours. There's a floating wheelchair at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Yes, you heard correctly, a floating wheelchair, and we'll tell you all about it in this story.
The pristine and calming waters at Pigeon Point make for an enjoyable sea bath and overall relaxing experience. But simply getting into the water can prove to be dreadful for the differently abled. Well, the staff at Pigeon Point Heritage Park is catering to their needs. Water Wheels are a floating 3-wheeled beach buggy chair that allows special needs people easy access into the water.
When you bring your family member to the beach, the floating wheelchair that the Pigeon Point Heritage Park they provided for you, it's more accessible. You could actually take him into the water. The chair is going to be the person is going to be lying in the chair floating.
In the past, the lifeguards used manpower to take physically challenged persons into the water. But this new piece of equipment makes the process less strenuous.
Times going by, we had some serious heavyweights that we have to use manpower to try to lift it out to the water, and it's been very, very hard. So the floating wheelchair, trust you me, it's a serious and it's more accommodating for us as well.
Don't worry, it's easy to get onto and the users will be securely strapped. Visitor Shan Ramkisun was pleased to know that the physically challenged are being catered to.
This is my first time visiting here, and I must say the facilities is amazing, and it's a great initiative by Pigeon Point Park to include that for the differently able persons, and I totally recommend it to any disabled persons or different able persons to come and enjoy the new facility here.
There is only one floating wheelchair at the Heritage Park, but there are plans to acquire another. It costs only $100 per half hour to use this new equipment. You can make reservations by calling 639-0601, or you can send an email to contact@pigeonpoint.tt.
I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards for Let's Talk Tobago. So in this next story, you're going to meet a young Tobagonian man. He's 22 years old. He's from Mount St. George, Tobago. His passions include journalism, crisis management, public speaking, youth activism, and many, 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 many more. He is Luke James Trim, and he has recently been appointed as the CARICOM Youth Ambassador from Tobago. Welcome to our set, Luke.
Thank you for having me, and we're chatting with Luke James Trim, CARICOM Youth Ambassador for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. Now, Luke, I remember you from your days at Hope Anglican Primary School. I was a reporter then, and you were the top male SEA student in Tobago. Yes. So you've always been destined for greatness. So I started with that, but can you tell our viewers a little about yourself?
Well, I've always been the type of person that's been passionate about becoming the best version of myself. And I also wanted to apply that level of care to young people here in Tobago. So like you said, I got involved in many, many, many things. And I always wanted to bring young people up with me, because I was always of the belief that while people always obsess about networking up the board, getting to know those at the top, I always love to network across the board so that the young people that look like me, the young people that are beside me, they can also achieve success.
Okay. And viewers, the CARICOM Youth Ambassador Program aims to deepen the levels of youth participation in regional integration and national development. Now, Luke, tell our viewers about the selection process to become a CARICOM Youth Ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago.
So the selection process was very, very vigorous. Even on the digital form, they asked for a lot. They really wanted to know you, because at the end of the day, you're now going to be representing young people on a regional, national, and international scale. So I sent in my digital application, and I most likely forgot about it. Then I got a call and they were telling me, okay, we want to have an interview with you at the Division of Community Development. Now, when I entered, it was a panel and they started asking the questions. And what I noted about the interview process is that they really tested your level of knowledge about the youth space. You know, someone would have probably thought they're going to come and ask you about what's CARICOM and all those stuff, but no, they wanted to see how in tune you were with the issues happening in the youth space here in Tobago, in Trinidad, and in the region. So yes, the interview process, it was very, it's something that really lets you know that you have to be in the know. If you want to represent people, you need to know what is going on, what is happening, and I enjoyed it, and I was shocked to find out that I was successful.
Okay, and why now?
Why now? That's an interesting question. People always ask why now, and I always say why not now? Because this is the opportunity where young people have to get active. This is the opportunity where we see so many youths being marginalized. We see our young boys, they are getting into crime, or young girls, they are dropping out of school because of teenage pregnancy or problems at home. I think too often we are realizing that young people are now becoming a statistic. There's this huge issue of youth tokenism here in Trinidad and Tobago, where young people, where it may seem that we have an opportunity, that we have a seat at the table, we aren't really building that meaningful connections with the older heads, and our voices are not really being heard. So from young, I've always been told, you know what, Luke, one of these days I'm not going to get you into trouble, you know, because I was always a rebel from small. I was always advocating for others. I was always standing up for those who couldn't stand up for themselves. So when I saw the opportunity that I can become a CARICOM Youth Ambassador, I said, okay, Luke, this is your opportunity to keep doing what you've been doing.
And you talked about advocating for others. You're currently a law student.
Yes,
you didn't tell us that. Tell us about that journey so far.
Well, shockingly, I always wanted to be a doctor. From sixth form, it's always been doctor. You know, both my sisters are doctors. So my parents thought that, okay, let's get a third one. But I remember in sixth form, I got into the Tobago Day debates, and I debated. I would have advocated for those students at Scarborough Secondary School to have their school repaired. I would have also advocated that as young people, that we are not just left on the wayside. I would have spoke about the issues of doctors having to be unemployed after their internship. And from that experience, I said, you know what, maybe I should get into something a bit more diplomatic. So then I started researching and realized that maybe a career flow would be for me. So after sixth form, I would have done my certificate in criminology at UWI Open Campus, and we had a mock trial competition where I had to act as a defense lawyer, where I defended another person that was marginalized in society, a Venezuelan. And from that case, when I won, I said, okay, look, this is for me. And from that, I said, I want to be a lawyer.
Okay. Were you involved in any youth groups before, or are you involved in any youth groups at the moment?
Well, I've been involved in the Youth Arm on Tobago updates. Currently at the Tobago Youth Council, I'm the project lead, where I get to work along some dynamic people like Janie Campbell. You know, she's the education officer. So we work hand in hand. Also, I am now the incoming vice president for international external affairs and partnerships in the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors. So I've been involved. Also, when it comes to youth groups, I've always been the background character when it comes to these youth groups. Sometimes people will come to me for advice. Sometimes when they have an issue or a crisis that they need some advice, and I would help them. And I always like to encourage young people that, you know, visibility does not equate to success. I think there's this issue here in the Tobago space where our youth leaders, they will post the long captions on Facebook to make it seem like they're doing the work, when in actuality, not much is being done on their part. So I always encourage young people, don't be afraid to just fall back. Don't be afraid to go to war with the man or the woman in the mirror and try to unlock new levels within yourself, and let your success, let your work do the speaking for you.
Right. And as CARICOM Youth Ambassador for the term 2023 to 2025, do you have any projects in mind that you'd like to educate young people on?
Yes, I have projects I would like to educate people on. Me alongside my other ambassador, that's Ms. Samantha Rampasad. I think we will be focusing on climate change. Also, we would like to educate our young people about HIV and AIDS, and probably STIs also. Because I think in the Tobago space especially, getting an STI has been too normalized. You know, they just say, oh, well, I just take a pill for it and, you know, go back and fall back into the same destructive behavior that got them there in the first place. So climate change, HIV and AIDS, also continuing to represent those marginalized. I have some interesting work I like to do with migrants' kids. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but you all will see, you all will be updated, and those are some of the projects we'll be executing.
Okay. Where do you think Luke will be in the next 5 years?
Well, I can't tell the future, but what I can tell you in the next 5 years, I see myself standing with those who are marginalized and just advocating for them. I see myself in the middle of protests. I see myself trying my best to reshape our laws here in Trinidad and Tobago. I think we are supposed to be a pluralistic societies, but we still have many communities here who are still not being represented, especially in our legal system. So that would be my first work in 5 years. I hope that in the next 5 years, I can also be a mentor for the other CARICOM youth ambassadors, those who will succeed me, those who would like to get into diplomacy and advocating. That is where I see myself in 5 years.
Okay, and we've gotten to know the professional side of Luke James Trim. Tell us, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies, definitely going and hang out in the Crown Point area. You know, this is where I'm from. This is where my family originates. So sometimes you'll catch me on the beach, you'll catch me at up top. I love a good movie, so I love doing movie dates with my friends, because being this busy, sometimes I don't have all the time to really connect with them. So I use these mediums as opportunities to connect with my friends, to catch up with my friends and let them know, okay, this is what's happening. I also use them as opportunity to get to know my friends better. Of course, sometimes I'll be so busy, so much has happened in my friends' life. Sometimes I have to reintroduce myself and they have to reintroduce themselves to me. So I love a good time. I love living life. I love enjoying life. I love trying new things. So besides the professional side, that's what I like to do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Luke, for being here with us. On behalf of all of us at the Let's Talk Tobago team, we wish you all the best in all of your endeavors.
Thank you so much, Daria.
You're welcome. At this point, we have to take a break, but we'll be right back with more stories. Stay with us. Villa Aurizia is a spacious, well-kept modern villa located in the highly coveted Bonacore development of Tobago. This stunning property boasts 4 large bedrooms, each with its own lavish ensuite bathroom, providing an unparalleled level of comfort and privacy for guests. The kitchen is fully equipped with appliances and everything you need to prepare delicious meals for your family and friends. The outdoor area of Villa Aurizia is truly magnificent, featuring a sparkling swimming pool surrounded by comfortable lounges and a shaded terrace area. This is the perfect place to relax and soak up the sun or enjoy a refreshing dip in the pool. Overall, Villa Aurizia is the ultimate vacation villa, offering the perfect combination of style, comfort, and privacy. Coming up next, we take you to a different side of healthcare. They certainly didn't wear scrubs or PPE. They were dressed in fancy East Indian and African-inspired outfits as the Tobago Regional Health Authority appreciated its hardworking staff. Take a look at this story from Omadara Mills.
More than 100 TRHA workers were awarded for their provision of exceptional quality care in our health sector. Celebrating our heritage, harnessing the power of our purpose was the theme. Staff members got recognition in areas such as leadership, pandemic superheroes, and long service.
We want to take a moment on behalf of the board to express our deep appreciation for the dedicated individuals who form the backbone of our health institution on the island of Tobago. These professionals, nurses, support staff, all of these people working as one unit come together to deliver, in no small measure, the healthcare for an entire island, an entire people.
I know the last couple of years have been very difficult. COVID reminded us that everything that we thought we knew was not necessarily true, and it could have been taken away just like that. But you were one of the few entities that did not have the luxury of being home and being afraid and staying away from it all. We asked you to run head first into the madness, and you did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. And for that, this island is eternally thankful.
I know so many of you have made your professions lifetime professions. So many of you, after hours, offer care, private care to citizens as well. And so many of you get creative in finding solutions for the medical problems we have on the island. As a small island, we depend on you to insulate us from the outside world. We depend on you to ensure that we keep healthy and safe. And so I hope that we find a way to get the rest of Tobago to listen to you all, me included.
TRHA's Staff Recognition and Quality Awards ceremony took place at the Shore Park Complex. I'm Amadaro Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Think food, think water, think life, think health. Guessed it yet? World Food Day 2023 is here, and the Shore Park Food Hub was the place to be for the media launch. We have more from Patricia Nicholson-Richards in this story.
The Charlottesville Heritage performers as they danced the cocoa at the World Food Day media launch.
As we herald the World Food Day activities in Tobago, we hope to better educate and empower persons interested and involved in food production. We intend to make the division and its myriad services more visible and accessible and strengthen partnerships for agriculture revitalization. Through our World Food Day activities, we will facilitate increased stakeholder engagement and provide promotion opportunities for food producers and processors.
The two-day exhibition is scheduled for 18th to 19th October, but there are a number of events leading up to the exhibitions and afterwards.
There will be a World Food Day spoken word and poetry competition for schools. There'll be the Blue Ribbon Livestock competition, of course. A new housing design competition for livestock, where farmers will be asked to submit designs for houses, and the houses should be innovative, including new technology and specifically designed for the tropical environment. We'll also have a woman and junior farmer livestock video essay competition, where farmers in those categories, 18 to 30-year-old or women farmers, describe the challenges that they've had in choosing livestock agriculture, how they overcame those challenges, and why they have the passion for livestock agriculture.
The calendar of events also includes the inaugural Tobago Lamb Festival, a farmers' green market to be held in Tobago East and West, a horticulture show, and a 4-H gardening competition. Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith B. Israel wants Tobagonians to think about the resources we have and what we can produce with them.
For us to really be food secure, we need to rethink how we treat with food, how we treat with water, how we treat with the chemicals that are available to us, how we treat with the production, as in the agri-processing of the food, how we treat with all of that.
This year's World Food Day theme is Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Mark your calendars and be sure to attend as many events as you can. I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards for Let's Talk Tobago.
And that's how we end this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago. Thank you so much for joining us as always. On behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, do have a safe, productive, and a fantastic week. Remember to follow us on all of our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm Davia Chambers, and we'll see you again next week.
Good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your Good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your
Precision. Now, oh yeah. When the devil want to breathe, we have it turn it off. Whoa, them to know by now. Me have successfulness deep in my veins. Me not with now. So wicked Babylon can move all of them chains. Me a hold on, now give up me progress for no one. Me can't miss. Remember this. Oh, I'm reaching for the highest of heights. No bad man can bring me down, no there. Me no go for no time, no peace, no. Highest of heights. No bad man can put me down nowhere. I'm a God bless youth and chosen out of you, yeah. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. In the Most High's name, you know I try to look back with face bad mind. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. To the Most High's name, I try to look back to waste my time. Ask them this for me now. See if some boy coulda give the answer. Never believe failure woulda be my thing. Success is from my king any day. Never fail, never bounce. But me I go for mine. Me I hope and pray. Jehovah guide my way. You want some seed and you there. Put your one in the air and say, wind it up. Lift your one in the air. Wind it up to the team where you play. Me nah go fail again. Failure is for either them. If you believe that you are making it, then go get it. I'm reaching for the highest of heights. No bad man can bring me down, no there. Me no go for no time, no place, no. Highest of heights. No bad man can put me down nowhere. I'm a God bless youth and chosen out of you, yeah. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. In the Most High's name, you know I try to look back with face bad mind. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. To the Most High's name, I try to look back to waste my time. And walk to see you fall down, bounce your knees step on the ground, but we have to rise again. Oh, your children, so shine like the star that you are. But mine cannot stop you. Haters can't stop you. Ask them this for me now. See if some boy coulda give the answer. See if them a find a ounce of failure in a this artist that you create, yeah. Me nah go fail again. Failure is for either them. If you believe that you will make it, then go get it. I'm reaching for the highest of heights. No bad man can bring me down, no there. Me no go for no time, no place, no. Highest of heights. No bad man can put me down nowhere. I'm a God bless youth and chosen out of you, yeah. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. In the Most High's name, you know I try to look back with face bad mind. In the Most High's name, I just wanna be successful, yeah. To the Most High's name, you know I try to look back to waste my time. Can't bring me down, no. Can't bring me down, no. Can't bring me down, no. No bad man can't bring me down, no. Can't put me down. Can't put me down, yeah. Can't put down. No bad man can't put me down, no. Yeah.
working it full 100, working it full 100, working it.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're coming to you live from the third floor, Portmore, Lower Scarborough, Tobago. Really happy to be in your company. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago. I am Ria Richardson. George Julian is going to be joining us later on this week. We're certainly looking forward to having him back with us. But before we get on into what's coming up on the program this morning, we want to head on over into our news in 90 seconds with Candace.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Thank you, Ria. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, 18 September 2023. The Integrity Commission reaffirms its decision to conclude the investigation into Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's purchase of a Tobago townhouse. While he failed to disclose the purchase as required by the Integrity in Public Life Act, the omission was deemed unintentional. The Commission maintains that it found no reasonable grounds to suggest Dr. Rowley made a false statement regarding the townhouse's value in his income declaration. Nevertheless, they have asked him to amend his declaration accurately. The Commission insists it conducted a thorough investigation and rejected claims of bias. They found no criminal offense in Dr. Rowley's actions and suggested amending the act for better compliance. And next, the Republic Bank Limited will cut the maximum US dollar spending limit on customer credit cards from US $10,000 to US $5,000, starting on September 21st, impacting numerous small and medium-sized enterprises. Chaguanas West MP Dinesh Rambali expressed concern over the silence of the Finance Minister and Central Bank Governor on the issue. The bank did not provide a specific reason for the reduction, affecting all international transactions in currencies other than TT dollars. Additionally, RBL will lower the limit on its prepaid VTM card from US $5,000 to US $3,000 and reduce online VTM loads from US $1,000 to US $500. And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has written to opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bissessar seeking bipartisan talks on addressing public safety. He requested proposals from the opposition and offered to share the government's ideas. The plan is to form teams with 4 members from each side, guided by a jointly crafted agenda within the next 2 weeks. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Viewers, welcome back this morning. At this time, we're going to head on over into our birthday segment.
This is your birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
Okay, and this morning we start things off celebrating Kevin Davidson. Kevin, happy birthday going out to you this morning, and we're loving that bow tie there, Kevin, on you. Have a great one today, and love from all of us here at Tobago Updates. And we've got Kenneth Shorty Otley celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday going out to you, Kenneth, and lots of love from the entire Tobago Updates team. Belated birthday greetings going out to my very good friend out there, Waisman Chitaman. Belated greetings going out to you and lots of love from the entire Tobago Updates family. This is Jason Lashley celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday going out to you, Jason. And lots of love from the entire Tobago Updates team. We've got this lovely young lady, Kathleen Titus, celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday going out to you and trust that you enjoy and love from the entire Tobago Updates team. And this is Kobe Devines celebrating his 7th birthday today. Happy birthday going out to you, Kobe. And this was dress up day at school. So happy birthday going out to you and lots of love from your mommy and your daddy and granny and grandpa. Siblings. Okay, happy birthday going out to you, Kobe. Have a really great one today. And this young gentleman here, this is one of my brothers celebrating his birthday today. This is Joel Richardson celebrating his birthday. So Joel, lots of love going out to you from the entire family, from Daddy and Kim and Eric and Scotty or Elton Richardson and the entire CG and Stefan and the entire family this morning. So lots of love going out to you today. Have a really great one. Love you.
Birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
All right, viewers, and it is Monday, the 18th of September, 2023. And just to let you know what's coming up on the program this morning. This morning, the focus is on Tobago's October Carnival, and there is now a Tobago October Carnival Association, and here to chat with us would be Dexter Sabdi and Atiba De Leon, and they're going to be chatting with us on, what the association entails, some of the goals and objectives of said association. And then we're going to wrap things up this morning chatting with Khadija Ali Samool Harris as we focus on the Tower of Power leader shape. She's going to tell us more about that coming up on the program this morning. All right, and we want to remind you viewers, of course, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and we want to encourage you this morning to send in your shout outs, send in your questions and your comments. We often try to filter these questions and comments into our conversations on set with our guests. So feel free to send in your shout outs and send in your questions and your comments. They will definitely be heard. Well, viewers, that's just about it for us at this time. We want to thank you so much for joining us on Facebook and YouTube on the live. And we are going to be heading over into Tobago in Focus. So share the live, share the live, share the live.
Mediation is used as an alternative to litigation through the use of an impartial moderator and communication and negotiation techniques. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection established its mediation unit in 2009 and has steadily expanded. The unit, equipped with 2 certified mediators, has since settled several matters, including landlord and tenant issues, merchant-customer disputes, property and land, parenting, and even issues regarding the running of traditional susus. Assistant Coordinator at the Mediation Unit, Carol Spencer Edwards, further explains.
We deal with family and relationship disputes, neighborhood conflicts, community disputes, juvenile conflicts. So the range of issues are there, and as I said, we try to offer persons that option as against going to the court.
Ms. Spencer Edwards revealed a high success rate between 70 and 75%, noting that a large part of the unit's success lies with the process, as persons are allowed to speak freely in a safe and comfortable environment.
Quite often the issues that they deal with or that they're dealing with is not out of the ballpark. It's just that maybe sometimes not able to sit and express themselves. And sometimes you need somebody there to say, here's what, let's start with, or hold up, give her a minute, or hold up, give him a minute, you know.
The recent addition of a therapeutic counseling unit manned by 8 counselors has further expanded services, including a crisis hotline, parenting workshop, grief counseling, life skill coaching, marriage counseling, and learning enrichment programs. Services can be accessed through its walk-in services or by referral.
Your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're chatting this morning with Dexter Sandy, who's the interim president of the Tobago October Carnival Association. Along with him this morning, Atiba De Leon, interim vice president, Tobago October Carnival Association. And this morning, viewers, it's all about the Tobago October Carnival Association. So we're talking everything Carnival, in fact, everything Tobago October Carnival this morning. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Rhea.
Okay, let's jump right on into things. Let us talk about this Tobago Carnival Association, Tobago October Carnival Association. We got to be specific.
You can call us TOCA. Much easier to remember.
We'll go with TOCA. Where did the name come from? And give us an idea of the purpose behind this association. Who wants to start? Go ahead.
So TOCA would have been formed primarily based on mass band leaders.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Realizing that we needed to come together with one voice based on last year's experience and now planning out 2023. So last year, the first year of Carnival, a lot of things went right, some things went wrong, and we realized if we come together as a team, we could probably have a discussion with the Festivals Commission, the Tobago House of Assembly that puts on the carnival and say, okay, this is what mass bands expect, right? So we formed this organization, TUCA, and we're just sharing our message, marketing the carnival, marketing our bands, our members, and we're trying to make sure that Tobago has a better product come October.
Why only mass band leaders? Why not the other entities that comprise or make up the full Tobago Carnival, October Carnival experience?
Well, actually, it came out of a conversation with mass band leaders. So we decided to pull our own together. Eventually, I think we would want to incorporate the other stakeholders, for example, PAN, those who do soca, all the other stakeholders. But as it is right now, given the time period, we just focused on the mass bands, and we just started to work.
All right, let me ask Atiba here. And Dexter, you did mention here that last year some things went right, some things went wrong. And I know, Atiba, you've been on the program with us several times speaking to the issue of the Tobago October Carnival. What were some of those things that went wrong that you seek to rectify the second time around?
This year, well, thus far, what has gone wrong, what went wrong last year, sorry, is just some logistical stuff, the late start, the thing. But those stuff is stuff that we can't get away from at this point. So what we did made a suggestion to the House of Assembly and the festivals therein about the reversing the route.
Reversing the route?
The route. So instead of the route that was originally suggested last year, it fell through on the day. However, it was shortened to Orange Hill traffic light thereabout.
Okay, so remind our viewers this morning of last year's route, initial route.
So last year's route would have been starting at Shore Park, Cultural Complex, out to by Yachts thereabout.
Right.
Right. Down to Milford Road, up to Wilson Road, by KFC there.
Got it.
Straight out to the traffic light.
Right.
Straight down the highway to Orange Hill traffic light and back by Shore Park there.
Right.
What we asked and what we have gotten some favorable answer, and it is or should be the route this year is the reverse. So instead of going up that incline from Light and Life Pentecostal there to Bishop's High School thereabout, we are going down that incline now.
So you're coming down the highway this time?
Yeah, coming down the highway. Save the masqueraders some legs. You know.
Yeah, and primarily too, it's to allow, because last year spectators complained. They came into town late, right, to be Union style.
Right, yeah.
And at 3-4 o'clock, they were wondering where are the bands.
By that time, you were already on the highway.
Correct. So this time, we reversed it. And it's going to be, actually at that time, they should see us along the waterfront. And what festivals mentioned to us outside of the beads and feathers bands as the contemporary bands, you're going to see a lot more traditional bands and masqueraders, and they will take up the earlier portion of the morning across the waterfront. So spectators, we're urging them to come out as early as possible. Bands will be on the road from all indications from about 9-10 o'clock. We should be on the road. So there will be mass along that waterfront spectator area for the entire day.
And what we also realized last year coming out, and something that it tends to get overlooked a lot, the biggest stakeholder in Carnival is the spectators. Because nobody's putting on a feather and a bead and putting on the nice costume to jump for themselves.
Right.
They want to be seen. They want to masquerade. You know, they want in Tobago style, they want to titivate themselves.
Okay,
so the waterfront in the evening time or the bands coming on the waterfront is a euphoric moment and something that is well taken into consideration and should be a nice spectacle.
All right. Now, we said that we're moving away from the beads and feathers and into the more traditional type of mask for Tobago. And I know that was one of the suggestions made last year by a lot of patrons because they felt as though they didn't see it. It just seemed very rhetoric, very normal, very but not specific to Tobago. What sort of traditional mask can they expect this time around?
Well, I know that with the registration period open, Tobago Festivals Commission invited all mass producers to come out and register. So I know the expectation is that there are more traditional bands that will come out to participate. Right now, I don't have a pulse on that. I mean, I've been looking at the web page, which shows all the bands registered, but how many of them are traditional, I can't really see.
Right.
But I know that they've been encouraging it because we really need to show the traditions of Tobago. We know the mud mask will be there for sure. That's a guarantee, any carnival in Tobago, right? But the other traditional characters, I know they're encouraging them to come out because this is the Tobago Carnival. We need to show all elements, not just the contemporary beads and feathers, but all the traditions of Tobago. The contemporary, for sure, it brings the visitors. It brings the Trinidadian, it brings the international masquerader who would want to come and play mass. I mean, the waterfront is an excellent addition to what we offer here in Tobago and something that we need to market. So we know we'll bring those persons, but let's still sort of find a way to integrate the traditional. So when the visitors are here, they can participate in the traditional. I know we look at something, for example, we go to weddings and there's a popular song that comes on and we all come as a group and we do the dance in front, right? Can you picture, we have these masqueraders here and they're doing the jig, right? At a particular portion on the road, introducing Tobago's traditions in the carnival. Yes, they may be in their beads and feathers, but we have a point on the road where a band is made mandatory to send forward a team to do that. And these are some of the ideas as Toka we bring in to say, look, we're doing things differently. We're not just here to talk about beads and feathers.
And to add to that, is that what Tobagonians and our demographic are to be aware of is that this is a new carnival still. And
Yes.
This is its second year, and the carnival will, what we are trying to do or trying to encourage is a balance. Because as much as we want the traditional mass, the buy-in and the demand internationally, as Mr. Sandy would have said, is that beads and feathers, right? But with that, it's a strike a balance, and that balance will balance itself out. It's not something that we could micromanage. At some point in time, the traditional with the modern and or the contemporary mass will find a balance where we'll have the right amount. You know, just like you're cooking food, you know. You just have to find
Salt
that.
and spices.
You just have to find a balance, and it will come organically. So it's something we have to be a bit patient about.
All right. Tell us about the use of the stage in the sea that was created last year and how you intend to utilize it this year.
Well, last year, as the bands came along that roadway, the route commanders allowed us to go onto the stage. The trucks stayed on the road. And again, it's not competition, so you didn't go on section by section. But the bands just went on and reveled for a moment. Some bands did complain that they were rushed across the area, while some got some time to really spend and enjoy the moment. I think that came from the road management team, or the inefficiency of the road management team on the day. And those are easy things for us to have rectified this year. So we expect as bands to take advantage of the stage by the sea. Is always a good spectacle to cross a stage. Ideally, we'd love to have an elevated stage, you know, like the Savannah. But the stage of the sea is what we have, so we'll work with it. And I mean, over the years, we'll continue to build out the product, and hopefully we could enhance what happens at the stage at the sea. But definitely, we look forward to crossing the stage at the sea.
All right, two very quick comments coming in on the live. Excuse me. What is Tobago Carnival really when it's only for certain people? Do you agree?
No, I don't agree with that. The Tobago Carnival is for all of us to participate in. Right now, I understand, and I got the commentary over the last week, that some persons who intend to play mass, when they look at some of the costumes being sold, they're not seeing as much coverage because...
Okay. And that excludes maybe the older, more matured, conservative.
They may feel excluded, but there are ways for modification of your costumes. And we have seen it at other carnivals, where a masquerader may go and they look at purchasing, rather than the bikini that comes with the costume, they may now go and customize a boy's shorts, right? Or shorter tights, or they may customize the top so that the stomach area. And these are things that a masquerader can feel free to do. They can modify. I mean, there are local seamstresses you could check with. You could get fabric at various stores. And even if the band can't facilitate, you're free to do those things.
Okay.
And I mean, that's really for the conservative person. And we know that Tobago has a lot of conservative people. Yes, they want to play the mass, but they're a little conscious. If I go there, who will see me, right? So here's what we're saying. Let's find a way to modify the costume if it is you're not pleased with the costume that is available, or look for the particular band that fits that criteria for you and come on the road. We want everybody to come on the road.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to share some of the comments by Doniel Vincent and Kalisha Daniel. So viewers, stay tuned. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Mount Pleasant Credit Union present the Edgar Davidson Bursary Awards 2023. Awards available are SEA, CSEC, and CAPE. Tertiary, technical and vocational. Your requirements are complete the application form, student's performance report, or transcript. Applicants must be a member or a member whose child wrote an exam in 2023. Forms are available via our website or can be collected at our branch office. For further information, www.mpcutobago.com, marketing at mpcutobago.com, or call us 639-8902 or 8375. Deadlines for submission 15th of September 2023.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Okay, passage and come on over.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Viewers, welcome back. This is the Tobago Updates morning show, and we are chatting with Dexter Sandy and Atiba Dillian of TOCA. All right, and that's the Tobago October Carnival Association. And that's the focus this morning. Now, gentlemen, just before we took the break, we were checking out the live. And Doniel Vincent says, I don't know why everything just don't stay in the heart of town. I'm reading it as I see it. Shore Park around Royal Castle and back. Light and life stretch was a dead zone with the rat mammy up stray dog watching people until you got to Bishops that people was looking on. All right. And Kalisha Daniel says, National Carnival, we have both junior and senior. Now Tobago only senior. Really? Your comments?
All right, so let me take the comment from Doniel, right? Now, I understand from his commentary there, and just putting my mind back to last year, yes, that zone between, let's say, Bishops and to Wilson Road traffic light, it was a dead zone to spectators because literally on the highway, and as bands, we did expect that no one will be there. But as a masquerader, you want to be able to be on the move over extended period of space, enjoying yourself. At the end of the mass last year, we didn't have any negative feedback about the road experience. Everybody appreciated it. Even going up that incline by Light and Life, which might have been a little challenge, it was not really a major complaint. But we... for some bands, we had some equipment that had to go up that incline, and it was a bit of a challenge. And again, with the spectators, we passed the spectators early in the evening time when they really came out, we were on the highway. So we recommend now this year to go the other route. If it is, we do keep things as Daniel is recommending, they're centralized in Scarborough. It now means bands will be passing bands. And I think the concept there is that it will narrow the roadway for the bigger bands that really want to spread out. It really, logistically, it flows better when all bands are moving in one direction rather than crossing. All right? And the way we plan to do it this year, last year we had a complaint that there were more trucks than masqueraders on the road. I mean, we'll probably chat on that later on. We have a plan and a strategy for that.
Okay.
And to piggyback on his point before I answer the other question, is in anything you do in Carnival as it relates to bands and movements and flow and continuity, you want a loop, ideally. You want to start at point A and finish at point A. So you want to make that circuit. Because as there are bands, okay, for example, there are bands that may have multiple trucks and carts and different elements that brings out that experience in that band. And now to limit that to one side of the road when crossed and so forth, it poses a little challenge. Right? So as Mr. Hassan would have said, the one flow and one direction, it works better for Carnival. And to answer the other question about juniors, we decided, and the THA also decided last year, and we endorsed it, is that we'll keep the kiddies in February.
Right, with the National Carnival.
With the National Carnival. And mind you, there are many factors to that. October, school just opened in September.
Right.
October time, people now getting prepared for exams late November, early December. So we want to keep the kiddies in where they are to be, because it's just a weekend we have for this
Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, basically. And then Monday is school. So I don't think that should be a big of a issue as it relates to the kiddies have, because technically in Tobago especially, if we are honest with ourselves, February is really about kiddies. Because the adult bands may have 5 people in them. The kiddies is really who does fill the streets, right, of February Carnival. October, I'm saying let's give the adults a little time to have a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you here, is TOCA an appointed association, a THA appointed association? Let's clear the air on that. Is this association or was this association appointed by the Tobago House of Assembly?
No.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I think last week there would have been an interview on another station where there may have been some confusion. The interpretation people received would have been that TOCA was appointed by the Tobago House of Assembly. And I even saw in the commentary, it's a shame he doesn't even know the budget he's working with, right?
Let's clear the air over here.
Right? So TOCA, privately formed by mass band leaders, right, with a view that we need to come together, to work together, to present a better product on the road, right? Any initiative you've seen so far or you're going to see in the near future from TOCA would be from us, the members, and our personal resources, right? Yes, we've been having the conversations with the Tobago House of Assembly and Dr. Charleston Thomas and the Secretary, Secretary Boris. They have been working with us, right, and assisting in us being able to set the stage right for October 27th, 29th. Even our MP for Tobago West, Shamfa Kojo, she has also been in conversation with us and trying to assist us as well. And everybody so far has been on board with working towards a better product. This is only the second year. And, when somebody asks the question, what's the product? What's Tobago Carnival? We are still developing it.
Okay.
Right? We are still developing it. This year, they've centralized the activities in Scarborough. Let's maximize the use of Scarborough. Let's sell Scarborough as the high point. I mean, the waterfront, I would keep repeating it. is the ideal place to present any form of masquerade, whether it's pan and steel going up the waterfront on the Friday, the Juve on the Saturday morning, right, and then the parade of the bands on the Sunday. That waterfront is ideal. So, you know, let's work with that. But Toka, privately formed organization, not funded. So if it is you're out there as a private business and you want to fund us, sure, you know, come have a conversation with us. Right, but no, we're not funded or appointed by the Tobago House of Assembly.
And to add to that is, I think the name sometimes probably will get people down the road. Us being Tobago Carnival Association, the October Carnival Association, sorry, Toka. And the reason for that being is also we want to be inclusive of the, when we say bands, formed by the bands, we don't mean pretty mass only, right? So there's Juve, there is Mud Mass, there is the different traditional mass and characters, and those persons form Toka. So, and we also have couple event planners and logistical geniuses amongst our organization, which gives us that balance as well. So at some point, as Mr. Sandy said earlier, is that the idea of using the name Tobago Carnival October Carnival Association is that we don't want to just limit ourselves only for mass only, but for the entire experience of the carnival. And we took our initiative as bands in being proactive and not sitting down and waiting to see what the THA will do or what who will do. So the reason for forming that is that we want to be proactive in what our carnival looks like and have an input and a say in shaping what it actually looks and feels like.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Now let's talk a little bit about the covering for that Scarborough route. Recently we have recorded extreme heat levels. And I mean extreme, I mean bothering, frustrating heat that we've never experienced before. And this has nothing to do with women's age, okay? Let me just put it out there. This has nothing to do with us aging or maturing, okay? This is extreme heat levels. What is being put in place for persons to enjoy the Scarborough offerings this year with shade? Are we talking umbrellas only? Is it everyone's responsibility to ensure that they're covered and shaded, or will the association / THA provide coverage for persons who want to sit and take in things?
Well, definitely our priority first of all will be the masqueraders. So we need to make sure that they are hydrated on the road. I know a lot of the bigger bands are all-inclusive. So yes, they will have a lot of beverages to support the heat, right? I mean, for example, my band last year, Iconic Mass, we got sponsorship from Lucas Aid, right? Even got water as well. So we were able to keep masqueraders hydrated. I mean, alcohol is a part of it, but that dehydrates you. And you really need to have that hydration level up. Right, so it's really onus on the bands to take care of the masqueraders. When it comes to the spectators, no. I can't say that we will definitely play a part in it, but I remember last year in planning Carnival, the Tobago House of Assembly, they had issued a 3D rendering of Scarborough. And they had a lot of trusting in the air with some coverage in certain areas. Yeah. And they had CO2 cannons, some like school zones and stuff. Right. So I don't know if that's in the making for this year, but we will urge spectators to come out with your umbrella. If the heat,
I know a good place in Scarborough that sells these umbrellas. Mind you, go ahead.
if the heat continues this way, last year Carnival week we had a lot of showers, we had a lot of rain. And it really held up on the Sunday only. We're really hoping that this year we don't have those rain conditions. Right. Because it really took away from a lot of activities. The fetes, even the Juve itself. I mean, but Juve, it didn't matter.
But you might want a little rain during the day. Just a little to keep the heat down, I think.
Keep the heat down. On a Sunday? No, that is one of the things that masqueraders pray for, that that it does not rain. Because
But
the
this
feathers.
time, but if you're going with bees and feathers. But
Wet up
gentlemen,
your feathers.
very quickly here, because my director saying that now we're out of time. We've been having so much fun. But one of you wanted to speak to the issue of trucks versus spectators. There was it more trucks than spectators last year?
So the arrangements put in place last year would have sort of mirrored what happens in February,
Right.
where each band would have a truck to service it, a music truck to service it. And what we realized in February, over the years, you had a lot of bands that had small numbers. You may see a band with 25 people, even a band with 10 people, some with 50. And our members, I mean, we had a full discussion on it, and we have accepted that 10 and 20 people behind a truck is not a band, right? It's not a band from that point of view. A section. It's a section, really and truly. So here's what. Even if you do market your band and you're only able to attract 20 people, then what we need to do as an organization is merge together on the road. Last year, Iconic and Arcadia started that trend. The two bands came together, shared resources, and it really gave a greater road experience for the bands collectively. So we are saying to the smaller bands this year, let's merge with the bigger bands, or if it's a lot of small bands that cluster together, let's get the absolute number up, right? If it is we could get up to 200, 300 people behind a truck, it allows for more experience, it allows for less resources that has to be spent on the road, and our members have agreed.
Okay.
Right now, not all bands are members of TOCA. So I must put a plug in here. If it is you're a band leader, you've registered, reach out to us, send us your communication. Right, I'll put out the handles and stuff in a short while. But we really need to become a part of the team, right? Because the THA has already indicated to us that they're not funding those trucks this year.
Okay.
So we as bands, we have to pull together. And it really looks better when you have more persons moving together rather than the small amounts.
All right. Well, as we're wrapping up here, you feel free to give us the handles.
All right. So TOCA, you can send us any email at tocassociation23@gmail.com. So tocassociation23@gmail.com. You can reach out to myself at 687-4262. All right. And you could also, we just started our Instagram page. We haven't loaded content just yet, but it's Tobago October Carnival Association. You can look for it. Now is the time to start following the page, so when the content starts to reveal itself, you'll be in the know.
Right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the program with us. We talked everything Carnival, Tobago October Carnival this morning. Of course, these gentlemen are going to be back with us later on as we lead up to the Carnival next month, October. So thank you again for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers, well, we're going to switch gears at this time. When we come back from the break this morning, we will be chatting with Khadija Ali Samuel Harris, and we're going to be focused this morning on the Tower of Power. All right, the Tower of Power, and she's going to give us some more information on that. So share the live, share the live, share the live.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Experience the best dream ever. Dream the phantasm, where the extraordinary becomes your reality. With Mighty Crush Entertainment. On September 30th, get ready to believe. Dream the phantasm.
Mount Pleasant Credit Union Back to School Loan Promotion. Loans up to $15,000. Requirements: job letter and a payslip no more than 1 month old. Utility bill, copy of book list, salary deduction, 10% down payment. For self-employed persons, evidence of income and expenditure, bank statement, 12 to 18 months. Other supporting document. Promotion ends October 18. Contact us at 639-8375 or 8108, or check us out on www.mpcutobago.com or email us at loan@mpcutobago.com. Mount Pleasant Credit Union's Back to School Loan Promotion.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Just before we chat with our next guest, we just want to let you know that, over the weekend we had the Miss Plus Size football competition. And it was quite an interesting evening. I saw even Alma Gordon Holder, who got off a flight yesterday. Alma, I'm putting your business out there. Who got off a flight yesterday afternoon after returning from the UK. Immediately changed and was out there, supporting and doing her thing. But we just want to congratulate the Orange team, and they are the engine room. And that's the engine room out there, the team representing the color orange. And to let you know that Tobago Updates' his very own Biana Brebner, team captain, scored the winning goal. Yeah, we should be hearing some applause in the studio. Come on, guys. Let's make some noise. That's right. And to all the other teams, we say, better luck next year. And I'm really sorry. We should be neutral on this. In fact, we don't have to be, because Biana is one of our very own. And she scored. Thank you, Candice, in the background. And she scored. So we say, congratulations to the winning team. And that is the engine room. You're going to see more or hear more from Biana tomorrow. Definitely on at the beginning of the Tobago Updates morning show. So just to let you know that, okay? All right. So we're going to switch gears now. We're chatting this morning and at this time with Khadija Ali Samul Harris, and she is the director of JCash
Leadership. And
That's right, JCash Leadership and Learning Academy. And this morning the focus, Tower of Power movement. But we're going to be focused at this time on the Tower of Power leadership.
Yes.
Not leadership, but leadership. She loves to play with words, always. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Ria. How have you been?
I have been very good. Could use some rest, but don't worry, that's going to come.
Yeah.
I know, Khadija, you have always been busy. I don't know if you have downtime. If we don't see you alone doing your thing, we see you and your husband, yes. But certainly you guys are always on the move, Now, talk to us this morning about this this Tower of Power leadership.
Okay, so Tower of Power movement has introduced and is going to be launching this evening, Leadership. It's a youth program that shapes youth leaders and cultivates core values. So the SHAPE is an acronym, and when the youth come to the exercises, it's actually 41 value lessons that empower and really shape young people to be better citizens, to be better leaders, that would instill values that would take them all through life. Yeah, and it's really wonderful. I've been having some great reviews from people who have reviewed adults, leaders that has reviewed the program so far. And
what have they had to say?
They said it's wonderful. It's a great program. And let me tell you, let me go in depth of what the young people will experience.
Right.
So when they come to the lesson, they will get a definition of the value. So I'm delivering 5 of the values free of charge from tonight, this whole week, Monday to Friday.
Right.
And it will be via Zoom. And so far I have 45 registrants from Trinidad, Tobago, Bahamas, and Barbados. It has reached...
So this is not just a local thing. This is a Caribbean thing.
Yes.
A regional so far.
Yes.
And expanding.
Yes, it is. So the first 5 values would be diversity of choice, empowerment, confidence, determination, and positive mental attitude. Now, these are just 5 of the 41. And I believe that when young people learn these values and start to practice them, that it becomes, repetition is the mother of all learning. So it becomes like daily habits and that will produce better citizens, better young people. And it's not just for youth. I mean, when I was creating the program and the lessons, I was like, oh my God, I needed this. Because it's always refreshing to learn and regurgitate what you already know, but there's reinforcement. So the young people will get a definition of the value. Then they get insights to shape you. And those insights to shape you with the benefits of the value. Right. After that, then we go into cause and effects of the value. So cause and effects, everybody knows cause and effects. And when you find out the effects that are causing something, you know how to better deal with it.
Right.
And then we go into actions and behaviors of the value. So in that part, we go into reflections that shape you. So that's where the leadership come in. We want to shape them into growing individuals with positive mindsets too. And after that, we give them a real life scenario. So that is where they get a practical example of what it's like, how to utilize the value, what you might encounter. And after that, we go into the leadership kit. With the kit is keeping it together, where you activate your shape. Yeah?
I like that.
You activate your shape.
The leadership kit.
Yes.
Keeping it together.
That's it. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful program.
You seem more excited. I mean, because this is your baby. This is at the heart, really a part of who you are.
Yes.
You seem very excited, and you are really selling this thing.
Oh yeah, I'm passionate about it. I've always been passionate about growing young people, and it all stemmed from my household. I knew I had to change myself in order to change my children because I'm a leader, I'm their mother. So, coming out from that household dynamic, when I saw the children changing, I said, no. And this was in 2018, 19, when I knew I needed more for myself to be better. I really saw the change and I said, Tobago needs this. You all know how passionate I am about Tobagonians.
Yes.
This is my home. My heart is here. My navel string berry.
That's right.
Right. So it is just wonderful that I can impact others through these values. Yeah.
Now, Khadija, you indicated earlier on that you have just about 45 or so. 41 registrants so far.
45, yes. Sorry.
45.
Yes.
Okay,
sorry.
45. Okay, 45. Is this? Do you still have room for more?
Oh yes.
How many? What's your ceiling?
I don't have a ceiling. I don't want to put limits on it.
Just come.
Yes, because it's virtual. It's from 7:30 tonight to 8:15. 45 minutes to an hour. And I want people to come and experience leadership, and they will get to understand what the shape is for. Should I go into what the shape means?
We'd love to hear. I thought it was going to be a secret until tonight.
Well, I was thinking, but let me tell you. The shape stands for, the S stands for spiritual or special gifts that the Creator has given each one of us. The H is heart's passion. You all know the passion to do things.
Yes.
The A is the ability to hone what your abilities are and really practice them. The P is personality. Every value that you practice, you have your personality that you bring to life. And the E is the experiential assets, whether it's positive or negative, you learn from each shape that, how to exercise that value.
I told you, she's got away with words. Khadija, I want to congratulate you because, again, you keep raising the bar. Every time you come on set with us, it's something new, something dynamic, something fresh. And you keep raising the bar, so we wish you all the best. How can persons register for this? For those who are looking on and say, hey, I want to be a part. And is there an age limit?
Yes, actually, right now it's 14 to 20 plus. So anybody over 20 can come. But
I qualify.
Yeah. Yes, you do. So it's 14 to 25, to 20 plus. And I was thinking about, in the future, I'm going to downscale the program to suit younger children.
Yes,
because values, when you instill those values into children at a very early age, they grow with it.
There's no stopping them.
That's right. So in the future, I plan on doing that. Yeah.
Is there like I said, is there a registration cost?
Oh yes. Well, no. The cost right now, these first 5 lessons are free.
Right.
I am giving it. Right. This is my give back. When the book has been published, there will be a cost to it.
You better believe it.
A lot of sweat equity went into it, and I'm passionate about my work that I've been doing, and it definitely deserves a cost to it.
Definitely agreed.
Yes.
And how can they register? Is there a phone number?
Yes. My phone number is 868-753-5024, and you WhatsApp me, and I will give you the link to register on Zoom.
Okay.
Or you can check my Facebook, Instagram handles at Tower of Power Movement. It's on the bio. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Remember,
viewers, it's happening later this evening and running for the entire week from 7 to 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 7:30 to 8:15.
7:30, that's right, 7:30 to 8:15. It's on the flyer. And they may just go a little bit beyond that, because I want to believe it's going to be a lot. Maybe too much for 45 minutes, you never know.
It might be, because the peer-to-peer, when young people start to talk from experience, from doing this since 2019, when young people start to express themselves and they start to hear my stories and my experiences, oh my gosh, they open up. And that is the idea of doing a peer-to-peer model. Yeah.
All right. Well, all the best to you. All the best to you. And viewers, we want to thank you this morning for joining us this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Now we're getting ready to head on over into GMT. Just before we go, we want to extend condolences this morning to the Peters family on the passing of Mrs. Peters, former teacher, principal, primary school principal, teacher and principal. She was the mother of Ronnie Peters and Sir Peters of Speyside High School, the vice principal. So this morning, we take the opportunity to extend condolences to the family and friends, and to pray God's peace and comfort upon you all at this time. Viewers, we're heading over to GMT. Before we go, we've got Tobago notes. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
No problem, because there's a program which falls under the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development called the Street Lighting and Rural Electrification Program, which aids in providing lighting to low-income households and communities. The latest community, Canaan Feeder Road Extension. The installation of 14 street lights was carried out in partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission.
We are embarking on an aggressive rural electrification and streetlight installation program. Today we are in Canaan Feeder Road. We are installing 11 streetlights. These streetlights would bring much needed relief to the residents of this area, and after a while of being in darkness, I can safely say that you can get to their homes with some light.
But the streetlight light will be good for us, because in the night, when we go out there to come in back, they have dark and they cut down the trees, and it was so much tree that you could not see and nobody.
The installation of the lights cost approximately $161,309. For more information, feel free to contact the division at 612-4213.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
But this place so boring, enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Poof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hail my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
For current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
The Commission reaffirms its decision to conclude the investigation into Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Dr. Rowley's purchase of the Tobago Townhouse. While he failed to disclose the purchase as required by the Integrity in Public Life Act, the omission was deemed unintentional. The Commission maintains that it found no reasonable grounds to suggest Dr. Rowley made a false statement regarding the townhouse's value on his income declaration. Nevertheless, they have asked him to amend his declaration accurately. The Commission insists it concluded a thorough investigation and rejected claims of bias. They found no criminal offense in Dr. Rowley's actions and suggested amending the act for better compliance. Meanwhile, Republic Bank Limited will cut the maximum US dollar spending limit on customer credit cards from $10,000 US to $5,000 US, starting in September 21st, impacting numerous small and medium-sized enterprises. Shogunas West MP Dinesh Rambali expressed concern over the silence of Finance Minister and Central Bank Governor on this issue. The bank did not provide a specific reason for the reduction, affecting all international transactions in currencies other than TT dollars. Additionally, RBL will lower the limit on its prepaid VTM card from US $5,000 to US $3,000 and reduce online VTM loads from US $1,000 to US $500. And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has written to the opposition leader, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, seeking bipartisan talks on addressing public safety. She requested proposals from the opposition and offered to share the government's ideas. The plan is to form teams with 4 members from each side, guided by a jointly crafted agenda within the next 2 weeks. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, yes, so we are getting our conversations here started this morning with our Sergeant Joseph Jordan, who joins us weekly, and we are so happy to be able to have him on every week to discuss, matters of crime and so on within our space. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to your viewing and listening audience. Thanks for having me so that we can speak on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Great. So now I want to get us started with some news of there was a firearm recovered over the weekend. Can you give us some details as to what's going on there?
All right. So before I go into that, let me just deal with the usual updates and I will touch on that. Right. So what we had, so we're going to look at our usual statistic. We're going to compare January 1st to September 9th. And the 2 years in comparison is 2022 versus 2023. So our serious reported crimes in 2022 stood at 513 with a detection rate of 44%. Whilst in 2023, our SRCs or serious report crimes stands at 461, which is a reduction, and a detection rate of 34%. We have seen an overall decrease in serious report crimes of at least 10%. And we are also seeing where property crimes continue to be a challenge for the division, although there have been some reduction. And when we speak of property crimes, we're talking about persons leaving their brush cutter, people's house being broken into, these sort of things. So it still shows where persons are still leaving, they are not securing their homes properly. All right, our main crimes, we're talking about house breaking, general larceny, sexual offenses. Those are the crimes that are of a challenge for the division, and we continue to put measures in place. We are still asking persons to be a hard target, commercial as well as residential personnel. Secure your home, secure your businesses, put the necessary means and measures in place so that you do not become a victim of a wannabe bandit or a perpetrator. Because by you putting the necessary measures in place, you are now making it more difficult for persons to infiltrate your property, and you're also giving yourself a greater chance as in protecting yourself and your property, right? So talking about, so let's touch on as relates to the firearm. So on Saturday evening, Saturday 16th September, officers of the Joint Intelligence Patrol Unit and the Tobago Divisional Task Force in the Shervan Road District would have recovered a Glock 19 pistol and 5 rounds 9mm ammunition. 2 persons are in custody as relates to that, and we would hear further on that during the week. Last Wednesday as well, there was a report in the Shervan Road District again, where the victim would have heard some loud explosions on his way to home. And as a result of that, he would have called the police. Officers of the Shervan Road Police Station would have investigated, and at a later time, they would have recovered some spent shells in the area. So they are actively pursuing those leads to see what exactly is taking place. So once again, as per usual, we ask the public, if you see something, say something. We also want to encourage persons to communicate with the 800 TIPS 555, the various station, the Shervan Road Station District telephone number at 639-8888, and share all the information to assist the police in bringing these perpetrators to justice and also in making our community safer.
Now, are all these shooting incidents, are they related? The recovery of the firearm, do you know if there are any connections between them as it relates to gang activity? Like, I know the ACP said last week we have an increase of gang activity happening in Tobago.
Right, so at this point in time, as the recovery of the firearm and the suspected shooting or gunshots being heard, we cannot put a correlation between those two. However, there will be a correlation between the wrongs being found and the person who would have heard the loud explosions. So there may be a correlation between those two. We are pursuing all the leads and to ensure that we can solve this matter and to find out what was the motive behind that particular incident.
All right, so moving on now to one of the topics that we have for this morning, and that is vigilante justice. Because we're seeing a lot of reports right now in Trinidad where people are fighting back against the criminal elements. But you know, there's not something that the police necessarily supports. Can you clarify?
Right. Right. So
yes.
So vigilante justice, vigilanteism, street justice, basically identify or is defined as persons or a group of people rather, taking the law into their own hand and serving justice. And when we dissect that statement, it means that you are the judge, you are the jury, and you are the executioner when you operate like that. And that sort of system is not one that should be supported by any society. Yes, we want to fight back at the criminals, we want to fight crime, but it still must be done within the realm of the law. And you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you being the victim now becomes a person that is subject to a criminal investigation. So vigilante justice has its merits, and it allows people to assist the police in bringing persons to the forefront. And what we encourage persons to do is, if somebody commits a crime or is suspected of committing a crime, you detain that person and you call the police. We often know some people might be beaten. Sometimes persons, by the time you get to them, they would have succumbed to injuries, and then the persons who would have committed those acts are now the subject to a criminal investigation. So you don't want to find yourself even sometimes detaining the wrong person. Now our law, within the law, what we call, sometimes we call citizens arrest. The law allows for that. Section 1004 of the Criminal Law Act, that's part of our Constitution, Section 3, 2 and 3 in particular, speaks about civilians, and it basically suggests or explains that any person can arrest with someone under having reasonable cause, that this reasonable suspicion that that person may have committed or is about to commit an arrestable offense. You can arrest. Note the word, you can arrest only.
So in other words, I mean, you can't beat up the person.
No, you should not. You should not. And going a little further, because persons would ask the question, going a little further, if the person is resisting or becoming or struggling, yes, you can use as much force as necessary to subdue the person. If it means calling a neighbor, calling for some assistance, the law allows for that under the same Criminal Law Act. So there is legal parameter for which a person can operate within in subduing someone who is reasonably suspected of committing an arrestable offense or who would have committed one.
If you have a licensed firearm, what does the law allow for you in a situation like that, where you may have a gun in your face, you have a licensed firearm? How are you supposed to retaliate in a situation like that? Or can you?
Yes, certainly. When you apply for a firearm user's license, the reason for having such is to protect your property, your life, and your family. And if someone comes into your home or comes into your space and you are of the opinion that this person wants to harm you or your life is in imminent danger, of course you are allowed to protect yourself by drawing your firearm and discharging if necessary. Now, it also, we have to operate within a reasonable context, and sometimes somebody might be on your property. They may be a very far distance away. They may not have an immediate threat to you, but you are a licensed firearm. The question is, do you shoot that person? Sometimes people say a warning shot, but at the end of the day, a firearm is not something to do with to have warning shot. A firearm purpose is basically to kill. And if you are in possession of one of that and you shoot someone, the likelihood of they dying is very high. So you have to be reasonable in your thoughts, and your action must be of equal force as to the reaction that you are getting.
No, we had an incident about a month ago in Castara where someone got into a little accident at a resident's home, and then the resident, who is a firearm user holder, he fired some shots at the vehicle that was involved in the accident. Can you give us any updates on what
Right.
happened with that, and then relate that back to this whole vigilante justice thing?
All right. So as it relates to that activity, I would not be able to comment on that because it is an active investigation. However, I mean, this is information in the public. As it relates to vigilante justice, it is something that it is not encouraged. However, you have a right to protect yourself and your property. And when we speak about vigilante justice or vigilantism, we're speaking about instances where it goes to the extreme. We are speaking about someone being arrested by members of the public and then being beaten, and sometimes being that may allow to the person having serious injuries or even die. That is what we speak about when it comes to vigilante justice. It is serving up everything one time, as compared to the legal system, which allows the police officer to investigate a matter, identify the perpetrator, bring charges against that person, and the court system would decide how the punishment should be meted out to them. In vigilante justice, all of that is done in an instance.
Yes.
Right?
And it often means that sometimes the person is, injured beyond repair, for want of a better
yeah,
word.
and we, as I said, we are talking about instances of probably murder or even manslaughter.
Yes.
And if you find yourself in those circumstances, rather you now being the victim, you are also now the subject of a criminal investigation. And our actions, and that it often speaks as to how we react to certain actions. So it must be of an equal force. Yes, you have a right to protect yourself. However, you do not want to find yourself in a situation where you are abusing your powers or your authority.
Exactly. Could you give us an idea of the law itself in regards to, let's say the person came in and, you defended yourself, the person ended up dying. How are we to, what does the law say? In terms of explain how the law would treat with a matter like that. When does it become manslaughter? How does it remain, just you defending yourself? How do we differentiate?
All right, so I will use an example. If someone comes into your home to harm you and they are armed with a firearm, and you have a licensed firearm, the person obviously is committing an arrestable offense. They are committing a crime. And you were to defend yourself, protect your family, protect your property by discharging a wrong or two, the person may subsequently die as a result of the gunshot wound. That is you protecting yourself. You are not, yes, inquiries would be conducted to ensure that what you say happened or what the circumstances are, that is what exists. But it doesn't mean that you will be charged for murder or manslaughter, because you are operating within your privacy and you are operating within the law. Hence the reason why you are given you would have had a firearm to protect your life, property, and family. So in those instances, yes, basically some inquiries would be conducted just to ensure that no malicious or unreasonable action took place during that time.
And when does it become manslaughter or a case like that?
In instances where might be of extremities, where let's say, for example, you might be on the streets, you might have a licensed firearm, and let me say somebody gives some old talk, call you a stupid man, something like that, and you decide to take out your firearm and shoot them. Although yes, you might have a licensed firearm, but you shoot that person and that person die or have or suffered serious injury, then you would be subject to an inquiry, because it is not equal force. Somebody making a comment to you, they didn't physically attack you.
Or they're just cussing you out.
Right. Although words are assaults, but it doesn't warrant that you operate in that manner. So it is very, you have to be very mindful as to how you use your weapon or the way you even protect yourself. Yes, we know in particular with criminality within Trinidad and Tobago allows persons, or persons may even think that they have a right to protect themselves. Yes, you do, but you do not want to escalate the situation to the point where it's a wild west style of community that we wanted to live in, and that in itself would bring additional social problems as well as criminal activities or criminal problems within a society.
What about how are we supposed to be protecting our homes? Because I want to touch on that a bit, because I mean it is related. When we have increased incidents of home invasions and so on, and robberies that are happening, whether you're home or not, what are some tips that the public need to be aware of in terms of protecting their property?
Well, that's right. So it goes back, as I would have spoke about earlier in our statistics, where we talk about property crimes being a challenge for the division. Now we go back to the basic things. Secure your property or your premises by fencing. You can have dogs as part of your security system. CCTV camera, having proper windows installed, sometimes burglar proof. Use the basic tools that are available to you to protect yourself. It helps in you becoming an easy target. So when we speak about basically target hardening, and this applies to both residential and commercial businesses, in particular with commercial entities, employ armed security. Once again, you can call on the police to assist sometimes if in the movement of money and these things. We would also assist in greater patrols, and as we, for example, during the Christmas times, you know, a lot more people are out. The streets are busier. There are greater flow of cash. Hence the reason they see a greater presence of the police outside. So these measures are preventative. So we will try to do preventative measures as much as possible. Our approach must be proactive if we have to fight crime, and that can only be done through a collaboration between our stakeholders and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
And what are some of the things that you notice about those people that are victims of home invasions? You know, what are some of the things that you think that they perhaps did not do so well in terms of protecting their home that people might need to be aware of?
Right. So one of the things that relates to house break-ins, general larceny. I mean, the home invasion, yes, is a term that has been prevalent, but it's basically, I mean, in the sense of like robbery and burglary. Now, what you can simply do is make sure that you have proper lighting, secure windows and secure doors. You need to check your premises from time to time to make sure that, I would simply say, you think as a bandit. If you want to break into somebody else, you would walk around your home, walk around your business place, ensure that there are no areas where someone can easily access your goods and services. So going back to the same instance of CCTV camera, another thing, neighborhood watch groups. Those things comes in very effective. So if you're living within a community, everybody can look out for one another. If you see a strange vehicle in the community, you can make a phone call to a neighbor. I've seen a vehicle in front of your home, and you can also call the police indicating that there's a strange vehicle in this village or community driving around. So these are some of the things that can be done in order to protect and to prevent crime, especially property crime, as well as violent crimes.
Is the police also willing to come and, you know, actually speak to residents and help them figure out, you know, what ways that they can improve their own home securities?
Right, certainly. And these things are actually being done through our town meetings and community meetings that are held in some of our communities across Trinidad and Tobago. And it is in these settings where we speak about what things that you can do within your home, within your village, street lighting. You have a problem, you know, you reach out to TNTech, try to have a better environment. if there are derelict vehicles, we get them removed. If you have abandoned buildings, we get them dealt with. Bush areas that we say, for example, high with large amount of bush and these kind of things, get them cleaned up. So all these things are basically ways of keeping your community safe, because you basically want to have an environment that is clean and free of crime, and you don't want to have a community that is encouraging crime. So the police, yes, we have those town meetings, and even when we do our walkabouts, sometimes you while doing the walkabout, you would observe certain properties. You may indicate that, all right, this person, you realize that they have a broken window or they have a space that somebody can climb through. So we can also identify those things. So it is all about sharing information, communicating, and hence the reason we have patrols. So those are some of the things that police officers would do when you're having patrols, is to identify the shortcomings within an environment.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Sergeant Jordan, for being on with us and for sharing us these tips.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, so we have a lot more coming up for you on the program, so please don't go anywhere.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor.
Your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Tobago updates.
back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Update viewers. We are now being joined by Mr. Selwyn Bechan, who is a senior life skills coach at the Harvard Medical School. And, a special good morning and welcome to you, first of all.
Thank you.
And you know that in our life, I mean, we've been dealing with so much in our life, from coming up from COVID, dealing with family, dealing with financial stuff. So, there's a whole lot of stress and tension that we are dealing with on a daily basis. And Mr. Bechan is here to talk about some ways that he can help you in managing your stress levels and finding some ways to navigate through some of the challenging things in life. So, Mr. Bechan, can you first of all give us an idea about some of the courses that you are planning to do here in Tobago for people?
All right. So we were invited to Tobago to set up some programs. I am the executive director of City and Guilds programs, specialized City and Guilds programs in Trinidad. And so I'm setting up with some institutions in Tobago courses in cosmetology for City and Guilds, certification, hospitality and tourism, customer service, things like that. But I'm also giving a lot of training in things like stress management, self-development, and I will be training a few people in Tobago as life skills coaches. So it's a lot of going and coming from Trinidad and here, but we have a nice program for the next few months in terms of empowering people in Tobago to deal with things like stress and anxiety and tension.
Why did you choose? What inspired you to do something like this here in Tobago?
Well, we were invited. Some people from Tobago invited us, and I already did some lectures in the Plymouth area, and we had a little discussion with THA, and they're very interested in helping us to move the employability skills program along and so on. So it wasn't that we just chose Tobago. I was invited to Plymouth to give some talks, and people said, well, okay, why not open it up to all of Tobago? It's just evolved.
And how has it been so far?
Very, very good. So we have formalized contracts with a few people who will be representing us here, and we'll be starting the training in life skills coaching and stress management and so on in a few weeks. We'll be returning in a few weeks to formally launch the life skills coaching programs and so on.
And what specific programs are available when? What should people be aware of?
Right. So we will come back and announce officially. We will do some newspaper and through the television and so on. We'll announce what is available. We will be doing it. But what is immediately available for young people in Tobago is some training in cosmetology and hairdressing with Gloria's Hair Salon right here in Scarborough. And we'll be immediately launching some programs in hospitality and tourism for people who are involved in interacting with the tourists, not necessarily in a hotel kind of environment, the person selling doubles or, the tourists walk around and so on. So we'll be launching that very, very shortly. But the program that I am most interested in, and we'll be launching, kind of announcing it today. In a way, we are announcing it today, and we will then give precise information of how to move forward, is training some people in Tobago in life skills coaching. Now, although Tobago is a paradise island in so many beautiful ways, I mean, yesterday evening I was at the Pigeon Point area looking at the sunset and just being calm and quiet. It doesn't mean that the people in Tobago are not prone to be stress affected. In fact, the norm for high blood pressure is higher in Tobago. I think the dietary thing needs to be looked at. perhaps there's too much salt being intake and food consumption and so on. The prevalence of fast food is a challenge. It's really not necessarily healthy food. So at my studies at Harvard Medical School, I'm qualified from Harvard Medical School. Harvard had done, and this is the part that would be very interesting for people in Tobago. Harvard did a 75-year-old study in longevity living. And longevity means long life, healthy life, and happy life. And they looked at countries across the world. It's called the Blue Zone Study. And they found that there are some principles of living that allow people to live long life, healthy life, and happy life. What is intriguing about these principles is that they don't cost money. So we can't say we can't afford it, but it requires a change of lifestyle and habits. So that's what I'm doing in Tobago. So I'm setting up programs to train people in Tobago, to train Tobagonians to live the longevity living.
So, like, what are some of those practical aspects of changing your lifestyle and your habits that would make you have a long and happy life?
Right. So there are 15 principles. 15 principles. We know them, but we don't necessarily live them through. Because our way of our education system tells us if you could learn something, you cram it, you could reproduce it, you pass it, you have a good result. So we know these things, but it's how to live it. And that's why we must, I'm going to go to the 15 points for you. That's why we must train coaches to help people to change habits. So the biggest habit is that people must cultivate a time of silence and quietness in a disciplined way. Okay, so I am not coming on this from a religious point of view or anything like that. Harvard studies show that where there was longevity, the people had a culture of learning to be quiet, to have solitude, to have peace. We could say prayerfulness, we could say meditation, we could say yoga, whatever we want to say. People should choose to have a time of quietness. But we tend to be in the West busy being busy. We're real busy. And when we look at it and say, what are we busy about? In the end, we are busy about we're not taking care of self in the business. So one is a time of quietness and peace and solitude on an ongoing basis. Another one is diet and nutrition. And the way we eat. We do a lot of hustle eating. We eat and fast. We're busy now. We eat and fast. So there's a way to eat slowly so that you salivate the food. As you're eating, the saliva mixes with the food and produces some chemical changes in the food. But it's a type of food. They say cut down on the red meat. They say fish and so on fine, chicken and so on fine, but go to more plant-based diet, legumes, nuts, peas, fruits. They say hydration is crucial, but how you drink the thing. So it's not soft drink drinking.
It's water.
It's water or fresh juices. So we know these things. So let me go through a few others for you. We must be able to recognize when we are stressed out, recognize it and address it. And they tell us how to address it. Certain kinds of relaxation behaviors, certain kinds of... The biggest stressor is relationships. So they found that divorce is predictable up to 91%. I am amazed at that myself. But when we were studying at Harvard, they showed us the research. Divorce is predictable. People could go into fake relationships that are stress-producing rather than joy-producing. And there are some kind of 16 things to look at in a relationship to see if it's healthy. And if it is unhealthy, make it healthy. That's communication, greeting each other, doing things, take time out. Yesterday I saw a couple and one of the children at Pigeon Point there, and you could see they're taking time out to be together. So maybe that is prevalent in Tobago, but in Trinidad it might be a little bit different. So time all together and communication and sharing. So there are points that go with it, but the point I wanted to make about the relationship, poor relationships end up in illnesses. It's so unusual and remarkable that a lot of lifestyle illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, insomnia, and so on, backaches and all of that comes from poor relationships. It's very fascinating to me. So you work on relationships and work out what is possible and work together and things. So that's another point. I mean, I'm going through quite a few points.
And I mean, we are unfortunately out of time, but I hope this conversation has people intrigued because they can find out more about this at your program. And when and where can people get, and how people can get connected with you to be a part of these life skills training?
So I'm coming back to Tobago shortly. I'm coming back to Tobago. And I'm going to make arrangements to come on studio again with you all and give, right now I'm still working on the dates, the times, the places. We're kind of just initiating the idea, and thank you very much for allowing us to talk.
Certainly.
But there's such great need for it. And there's great need to train people who culturally can teach others. So yes, we will come back to the station here and go to the newspaper and so on, and announce times and dates and places for the lectures and for the training programs and so on.
And any way that people can connect with you, stay in touch with you?
They can take my number. My number is 2689431. So my name is Selwyn Bajan, and the number is 2689431. Or they can get in touch with Althea Chance, who is in Tobago. Althea Chance is where we're setting up some programs at the Gloria Beauty Studio here in Scarborough.
All right. I want to thank you so much for being on with us for what was a very enlightening discussion and something that, everybody should be a little bit more curious and take some time to focus on. Because, yes, as you mentioned, stress is so connected with so many of the health problems that we have here within our population. So thank you again.
Okay.
All right, viewers.
Tobago updates, real questions, and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Okay, passage and come on over.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Mount Pleasant Credit Union Back to School Loan Promotion. Loans up to 15,000. Requirements: job letter and a payslip no more than 1 month old. Utility bill, copy of book list, salary deduction, 10% down payment for self-employed persons, evidence of income and expenditure, bank statement, 12 to 18 months, other supporting documents. Promotion ends October 18. Contact us at 639-8375. Or check us out on www.mpcutobago.com or email us at loan@mpcutobago.com. Back to school loan. Number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience, offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
But this place is boring, enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Poof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895, 5/8 for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use, with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supply specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Bonaccord Crown Point Electoral District. It's your turn. The THA Executive Council is coming to meet with you as we continue our District Town Hall meeting series.
Canaan, Bonaccord and environs come out that we can know definitely what is happening in our community.
Make sure you all come out and air all your views.
We invite you to come out in your numbers at the Canaan Bonaccord Community Center on Tuesday, 26 September at 6:30 p.m. as the Executive Council members give updates on existing and upcoming programs and projects. You also get the opportunity to share your concerns and ask questions. So, join us from 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 26 September at the Canaan Bonaccord Community Center for the Executive Council's District Town Hall meeting. People of Bonaccord, including Bonaccord Development, Milford Court, Crown Point, and Stobie Local Road. This meeting is for you. Remember, your voice matters.
Summerama, real steam for the summer at Standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, Standard. What you have? What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more. Standards are what is searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beating on quality and price. It nice.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Wait, I don't even have suit and thing for this wedding. Why getting them things?
Well, the port right over there.
Alright, thanks.
The Port Mall, where the varieties are large from your favorite stores, from restaurants to salons and from clothing stores to jewelry stores, located at Sanctus Hill, Scarborough, Tobago. Telephone number is 868-334-6589.
Wow. I didn't expect to see you here. Look good.
Thanks. It's all because of you and Port Mall. But here now, I'm going to out with it. You want to join me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright.
Beat the rush and come on down to the Port Mall.
Tapicom. Welcome to the future. The only card you will need in a new world. Digital business cards. Safe, hassle-free. The future is here. Tapicom. New generation digital transfer. Digital time clock cards. Digital attendance cards. Air tags. Customized designs. Digital clothing tags. Digital pet tags. Tapicom. The future is here. Contact us today.
For a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include